Welcome to the Pulse on Pulse Crops. I'm your host, Tim McGreevy. Crop insurance is a critical tool in every farmer's risk management strategy. You don't have to reach too far back in history to realize the importance of good crop insurance. 2018 was a difficult year for all Northern Tier pulse and grain farmers who received between $1 and $10 million in crop insurance indemnities in most counties, with a few over $10 million. Producers who signed up for the 2018 Revenue Protection Program policy were paid over $58 million in indemnities. The Yield Protection Policy paid a little over $17 million to pulse producers in the same year. They say lightning can't strike twice in the same place, but the 2019 crop year, remember that? Rains late in the harvest season, for chickpeas and lentils in particular, and the rains just never seem to end. Quality damage from excessive moisture in 2019 is one reason Congress tacked on money for the Quality Loss Assistance Program to the Wildfire, Hurricane, and Indemnity Program, or WIP+. The majority of dry peas and lentils were harvested before the rains in 2019, but chickpeas were hit pretty hard across the Northern Tier. In 2019, the Revenue Protection Policy paid over $29 million in indemnities to pea, lentil, and chickpea farmers, versus $12 million in indemnities for those enrolled in the Yield Protection Program. The Dry Pea Revenue Protection Policy, which covers dry peas, lentils, small and large chickpeas, is owned by the USA Dry Pea and Lentil Council and administered by the Risk Management Agency through a special section called 508H of the 2018 Farm Bill that allows commodity groups to develop new crop insurance programs for their growers. In 2014, the Federal Crop Insurance Corporation approved a pilot program introducing a revenue protection policy to producers for the first time of pulses. The USA Dry Pea and Lentil Council worked with crop insurance developer Watson Associates of Billings, Montana, to create this policy for U.S. pulse producers. In the 2020 crop year, RMA reports that 63% of the dry pea, lentil, and chickpea insured acreage in the U.S. was covered under the Pulse Revenue Protection Policy, or RP. Harvest price data is collected by the USA Dry Pea and Lentil Council from the Idaho, Washington, Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota checkoff programs for dry peas, lentils, large chickpeas, and small chickpeas. This grower checkoff data is submitted by the USA Dry Pea and Lentil Council to the USDA RMA for analysis and final determination of the revenue protection harvest price for the insured crop year. The RMA reviews the price data submitted to the Council from September through November to establish the harvest price for that crop year. The USDA released the 2020 harvest prices for pulse crops in mid-January. The RMA announcement shows that the harvest prices for the 2020 crop year were below the projected prices established on March 1, 2020 for dry peas and chickpeas in both regions. The lentil harvest price was above the projected price due to a surge in the market in the fall of 2020. In the Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota growing region, the following harvest prices were announced for 2020. The dry pea harvest price was 8 cents a pound, and this was 1 cent a pound lower than the projected price in March of 9 cents a pound. The lentil harvest price was 17 cents per pound, which is 2 cents a pound higher than the projected price of 15 cents a pound. Lentil prices surged in the fall of 2020. The large chickpea harvest price in this region is 16 cents a pound, which is 1 cent a pound lower than the projected price of 17 cents. The small chickpea harvest price was 15 cents a pound and was 1 cent a pound less than the projected price of 16 cents a pound in March of 2020. The Idaho and Washington growing region recorded the following harvest prices for 2020. The dry pea harvest price was 8 cents a pound, which is 3 cents a pound lower than the projected price of 11 cents. The lentil harvest price was 19 cents a pound, 3 cents a pound higher than the projected price of 16 cents. The large chickpea harvest price was 18 cents a pound, which is 1 cent lower than the projected price of 19 cents a pound. The small chickpea harvest price is 13 cents a pound, which is 1 cent a pound less than the projected price of 14 cents. Assuming an election of 85% coverage and yields equal to or below average, it is possible that the indemnities paid on the 2020 crop revenue insurance policy will be paid on dry peas, large and small chickpeas in both regions. No doubt the revenue protection indemnity will climb well above the reported $6.8 million at the end of December 2020. The USA Dry Pea and Lentil Council encourages every grower who enrolled in the Pulse Crop Revenue Protection Program to contact their insurance agent to find out if they are eligible for a revenue insurance indemnity for 2020. 2021 revenue protection projected prices are being gathered from Pulse first purchasers through the month of January. This is the projected price history for the Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota region. We would like to thank every first purchaser who is participating in our survey to help establish these projected prices. The projected prices for Washington and Idaho are also being requested for this region. The significant price increase in early January in the major grains and oilseeds will make for some difficult planting decisions come this spring. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Pulse on Pulse Crops. For more information, please become a member of the Western Pulse Growers Association, the Northern Pulse Growers Association, or the U.S. Pea and Lentil Trade Association to receive our weekly newsletter. You can join us on Facebook and on Twitter at USA Pulses. We'll see you next time.